Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. It's time to go introduce Alize to Urianger and see how that turns out. Alright, we are live. And I swear this Cloud Strife FF14 guy has been following me around. I've seen him like 10 times tonight. Although I can't imagine that's a uncommon name. Cloud is probably top 3 most famous Final Fantasy characters. So, Urianger, apologies for calling upon you unannounced. Why, Master Alphanode, would that the scholar had seen fit to grant me knowledge of thy coming. What bringeth thee and thine here this day? The warriors of darkness have returned. Pray allow us to explain. I too have heard tales in recent days of primal beings rising up only to be cast down by forces unknown. Alas, as thou didst observe, this serveth but to spur the beast tribes to pursue their goals with redoubled fervor. We have two objectives at this time: to identify and remove the source of the beast tribe's crystals, and to take direct action to prevent any further summoning rituals from reaching completion. The second is easier said than done, of course. While we were fortunate enough to learn of the Ixal's plans before they came to fruition, I should be surprised if the Warriors of Darkness and the Ascians did not have similar designs elsewhere of which we have no knowledge. Thou wert wise to come hither, for this very day did I receive tidings most troubling from across the Strait of Merithor. Ognomo stirreth, and there are whispers that the Lord of Crags neareth his return. Mere rumors, mark thou, but in light of thine own discoveries, thou canst ill afford to turn a deaf ear to their claims. Aye, we must ascertain the truth of the matter for ourselves. Let us consult with the Maelstrom forces stationed at Camp Overlook. Thank you for your counsel, Urianger. Pray inform us should you learn aught else. I shall. If I may, brother. Urianger, is there anything else you would like to say? Alize? If not, then never mind. I only ask because you are normally rather more verbose. Nothing to add? Very well. Ere we depart, I wish to make a request. The Warriors of Darkness spoke of how the Ardor had the power to break down the barriers between planes, that our worlds might be rejoined. I would ask that you research this for us. Being nowhere near as well read as you, I'm sure I wouldn't know where to begin. That said, I have heard tell of a promising tome, the Garan Oracles. Mayhap you could start there. By thy leave. Camp Overlook, was it? Very well.
Ooh, we got thick.
Indeed.
Are we taking any of these?
No. Those are probably all level 50 quests.
Okay.
Or lower. Alright, KJ. Camp Overlook. Which is Outer Lenoskia.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. I couldn't see you up there.
Seven hells. At this rate, I'll have to appeal to Maelstrom Command for reinforcements. Whatever it is, we don't want any. Well, fancy that. Just when my kobold problems look like they're coming to a head, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn turn up, itching to pitch in. Bloody brilliant timing is what it is. Right then, let's get to it. So our friendly neighbors in Ugarmo have got much more aggressive of late, just as you said. Matter of fact, our scouts spotted one sniffling about the stores just now, likely looking to make off with an armful of crystals. I'll be damned if I'm about to let that happen. Lend a hand and help us search the camp for the little bugger, would you? Our Maelstrom friends seem notably more agitated than when we first arrived. You happen to know why that might be? A kobold in the camp, you say? That would appear to corroborate Urianger's information, yes. But to be so reckless as to infiltrate a Maelstrom camp and draw attention to their efforts is passing strange. Well, there will be time to think of this later. For the present, we must do everything in our power to prevent Titan summoning, and that means finding and questioning this kobold.
As long as we're not on some wild goose chase. Found him.
We did not
Really?
do a very good job of catching him. Making me climb downstairs. Stay back. Away. Far back. I'm not a... It's no use. Pointless. Hopeless. No use.
Oh, he's back up.
Please don't hurt me. I only wish to talk. Yes, yes, just talk. Yeah.
Stop freaking running away then.
Somebody put a free spell on him.
KJ, could you please wrestle him? We're too big. I mean, I could snatch him up by his tail, I suppose.
That's all right. I got what is that called? Foot graze ready. I'll hit him in his back of his leg.
This was a stupid plan. Stupid, stupid, stupid. But if I tell no one, then everyone will... Ah! He found me again. What to do? What to do? I come in peace, only to talk. Speak, say, talk. So please, please, do not hurt me. So this is our wily kobold infiltrator, is it? No wonder the soldiers were on edge. I could very well give one a... He could very well give one a bruised knee. Huzzah! We've got him. Fine work, scions. So, little one, thought you could sneak into my camp, did you? Plotting to steal my crystals, were you? No, no, no. I came to talk, to ask for help. But when your soldiers saw me, they drew their weapons and shouted, and I... Now, let us all take a deep breath and discuss this like civilized individuals. What is your name, child? Pickman Gabu of the 620th Order. At least I was a Pickman. Or I will be a Pickman one day. Well met, Gabu. I am Alphano. This is my sister, Alice. The man who found you is our friend. And now that you know our names, we can be friends too. Now, Commander Bloden here thinks you want to take his crystals, Gabu. But you said you came here to ask for help. Why to us and not to your own people? What happened, Gabu? Can you tell us? No one is going to hurt you, right? Not while we're here. I promise. The patriarch, the patriarch's going to summon the Great Father again, and you have to stop him. Beat him, fight him, stop him. Gabu's parents said they didn't want it, along with many others, but the patriarch wouldn't listen. He was so angry, raging, fuming angry. He said that if they didn't have iron in their hearts, they would serve as coke for the furnace. And then the guards took my parents and the others away, and I haven't seen any of them since. Coke for the furnace. I did not want to believe it, but I've heard tales of foci fashioned from the bones of beastmen, which worshippers use in their rituals, hoping to summon more powerful incarnations of their gods. By the 12th, that is sickening. No one listens to Gabu, no matter how much he cries, pleads, begs, cries. They did not listen, only talk about punishing the overdwellers and praising the Great Father. Gabu loves the Great Father, but he loves his parents too. So please, help Gabu stop the Patriarch and save his parents. Commander, advise Maelstrom Command that Titan's summoning is imminent. Should the worst come to worst, we will require their support. Time being of the essence, we three will attempt to infiltrate the Kobold stronghold, secure their crystals, and free the prisoners. Well, if you're sure, you'll forgive me if I don't seem optimistic. We'll make ready just in case. I mean, it's not like we haven't, already killed Titan twice.
Right.
I have faith that may yet stop the ritual. We would surely have detected the associated etheric disturbance had Titan manifested already. But I cannot speak for the prisoners. 12 have mercy. That they would even contemplate sacrificing their own flesh and blood, brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers. Time is of the essence. We must see what else Gabu knows and formulate a plan without further delay. I heard Great Father Titan loves crystals, cherishes, covets, loves them. And if we gather enough, he will return. That's why the patriarch told everyone to go forth and gather them. So I was thinking, if we take all the crystals away, maybe the Great Father won't come? Very good, Gabu. I was just thinking the same thing. You know where these crystals are stored? I know, I know. Oh. Several spots, each defended by a different order. Gabu wanted to steal them, but he was too afraid to go alone. Yes, too afraid to go alone. But together we can take them away and hide them. Come. Gabu will lead you to the first cache. Oh, that cache was a lot closer than I was expecting. Quickly. You have them all? Good. Lead on, Gabu. This way. Not very well defended so far.
Well, the little Gabu's got to get through those guys on the walkway.
Time is short. If you have the crystals, we should move on to the next cache.
That was cruel.
Did you hear me, brother? Brother. Aye. It's just that... I'm quite certain that crate once bore Ishgardian seals. Someone took great pains to remove all traces, but enough remains to make out the pattern. See for yourself. I struggle to imagine kobolds traveling to Kurthus to obtain crystals, much less bothering to conceal their origins. I suspect these crystals were smuggled into Vilbrin by another party, most likely a pawn of the Asians, as Thancred speculated. I don't understand. Who are the Asians? Did they worship Great Father Titan too? Never you mind about that. As Alazay said, we do not have a lot of time. Can you lead us to the next cache, Gabu? Yes, of course. Gabu knows the way. This next one is the last, and it's very large. Very big, very huge, very large. I keep almost devolving into a Smeagol impersonation with Gabu.
Oh. I would not blame you.
If he had said the word precious at some point, it probably would have gotten me. Just had to kill something, KJ?
Well, that fire guy was right there looking at me funny. Plus, I'm not
Gotcha.
over Alicia's short comment that cut to the bone, you know? Time is short.
Ah. So you cast about for a time, you see no sign of the crystals. Confound it. What about you? Any luck?
No, I'm right behind you.
Nothing, nothing, nothing. But this cannot be. Gabu saw them. Spied, spotted, saw. Think, brother. Think. They must have moved them, yes? The question is where to and why. Within Ogomo, where they summoned Titan once before and mean to do so again. It is the only explanation. What about Mother and Father and the others? We have to help them. And we will, Gabu. We will. Stay calm. We still have time. They've yet to call for the remaining crates, yes? If they had, then they would have found the other caches empty and surrounded the alarm. Nevertheless, I believe the time for stealth is past. We must breach the navel and seize the remaining crystals. There is no other way to prevent Titan summoning. But first, give me your crystals, that I might deliver them into Commander Bloden's custody. We dare not take them into the bowels of the mountain. The crystals, if you would be so kind. Thank you. I shall deliver them to Camp Overlook for safekeeping and brief Captain Bloden on the situation. Pray go on ahead. As I recall, there is an aetherite within Ogarmo mines that will deliver you into the navel. Gabu doubtless knows the way. Wait for me there. I shall rejoin you anon. Strange. I would have thought you eager to remain in the thick of the action. But if this is what you prefer, then Godspeed, brother. This way. This way. Oh yeah, we have to go around. We tried that way last time. Ah, I take it this is the aetherite we seek? Right then. As soon as Alpha Note arrives, we go. I trust you're feeling suitably heroic. There's no telling what sort of resistance we'll face in there. Quickly, you clods. Briskly, swiftly, quickly. I will not suffer any further delays. Lay down your arms and surrender. We have your crystals. There will be no summoning this day. Overdwellers? Here? But how did you... Where are my parents, Patriarch? Where are they? Mother? Father? Poke for the furnace. You monster, how could you? We are but servants of the Lord of Crags. We are his, that he may drink of our blood and partake of our flesh, that he may draw upon the strength of his children and defend them from the tyranny of the overdwellers. No, Alice, not yet. I understand, Patriarch. I do. Your fear, your anger, your hate. You would do anything to protect your people. Anything to deliver them from despair. Whatever it takes to ensure that those who threaten you can never do so again. But in your single-minded pursuit of this objective, you have brought suffering on your own kith and kin. You have sacrificed the lives of the very people you sought to protect. But it need not be this way, Patriarch. Renounce this bloody course. Cease your attempts to summon your god and work with us, together, to build a lasting peace. Another peace to be abandoned by the Overdweller's convenience. Oath-breakers, all of you. Liars, betrayers, oath-breakers. You take, and you take, and you take, and when you have had your fill, you sue for peace. You promise that this time is the last, until you grow hungry again. And when we dare defend ourselves, you declare that this beast tribe cannot be suffered to live, that our god drains the land of Aether and brings naught but suffering, death, and destruction, suffering upon us all. I will hear no more lies from you and yours, Overdweller. You've ruined your own lands, you'll not ruin ours. I said I'd come for you, and I did. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Say something, please. Please? Please? Wake up, 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 wake up! Seven hells. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Alpha Node. Leave him to me. We must away. I thought you'd like that, Zora.
It's carbuncles on his nose.
Alpha Node, why did we just run and not defeat the Primal?
Yeah, that was weird.
By the 12, how could I be so foolish? I should have known better than to let Gabu accompany us, given what we were likely to find. His anguish and despair have served to birth a Primal, just as surely as would the supplications of the faithful. Worse, being born of such tumultuous emotions, this incarnation of Titan seems incapable of naught but violence. If we have one cause for optimism, it is that while many crystals were present, they represent a fraction of the quantity intended for summoning ritual, meaning that Titan must be far weaker than planned. Be that as it may, he is yet a primal, and the longer we leave him to bleed the land of Aether, the stronger he will grow. And should Titan be permitted to leave Ogomo, what more lives will be lost. The Maelstrom will rally their troops and the cycle will continue. You know what must be done. Will you face the Lord of Crags once more? Thank you, my friend. Alizé and I will tend to Gabu. When you finished with the Primal, look for us in Camp Overlook. We will be expecting you. Oh, we just... Is this, we have to do the naval on hard again?
Okay.
I'm going to switch us into undersized. Since sadly this is not one of the trials that works in the Moogle event.
Oh, I didn't move enough.
Oh, sorry, it clicked off of me. Or did you get it?
Yeah, I can't, you can't get me because I'm over the edge.
Oh, dang it.
It's okay. It was a dumb mistake.
Healing stuff.
Wow, it's actually the event has actually changed a little bit here. You have to target the heart.
I'm in a thing for doom.
Because Titan is actually saying things like he is Gabu right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm moving.
And I just got punted off the side. Y'all got this. Yeah, I was running around to try to help break Zora out of the cage, and thought I was out of that thing before it went off, but apparently I was still standing in it when the correct moment passed. So
Oh, my thing is oh, no, it's not.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
do I actually see a health bar on the treasure coffer?
Yeah, it's like the way they time it down, I think. If nobody does anything with it.
Gotcha. Alright. Back to Camp Overlook. Ah, there he is. Did I not tell you he would return safe and sound? The deed is done then? Titan is no more? Good. There's been enough tragedy this day. It's been like that since he regained consciousness. We believe he can hear us, but he has made no attempt to respond. He is almost certainly still in shock, but we cannot discount the possibility that he succumbed to the Primal's influence. Should that prove to be the case, he must be put to death like any other thrall, such as the Alliance's policy, yes? You have the right of it. But we must not rush to conclusions. After all, we once feared that Asael's followers were beyond reason, and many have since laid down their arms and accepted Ishgar's peace. We can but watch, wait, and pray. There is naught to be gained from dwelling on an eventuality over which we have no control, much less one we may never even come to pass. Let us tend to more immediate matters, informing Lord Bloden of Titan's demise, for example. You may be certain that he will be glad of the news. Would you be so kind as to break it to him? Yeah, they summoned their primal again. We took care of it. Again.
You're welcome.
It was Tuesday. Ah, you're a sight for sore eyes. When the others came back without you, I feared the worst. But they said you had matters well in hand. All settled then, is it? Glad to hear it. But not half as glad as my men'll be, believe you me. Regardless of whether or not he was summoned properly, a primal's primal. And there ain't a soul in the maelstrom that hasn't lost a friend to one. Don't get me wrong, we were all prepared to do our part, but we weren't so naive as to think we'd live to tell the tale. Thankfully, of course, it didn't come to that, which, my friend, sounds to me like cause for celebration. Now, I know you have lots of places to be, but why not stay the night? We'd be honored to raise a glass to your triumphant return, to the triumphant return of Titan's Bane.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. Forgive me for straying from the camp. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. But, alas. It's so quiet out here. The stars spread out before us, beckoning across time and space. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. How bitterly beautiful, those words. I should be stronger for all my experiences. Yet my heart aches more than ever. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. But when I finally laid eyes on the land he sacrificed everything to save, saw firsthand the bickering, the pettiness, I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. Nevertheless, I had to believe he had good reason. I was determined to uncover the whole truth of the calamity and, perhaps in so doing, find my own purpose in this sea of chaos. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. People with whom I felt a kinship, whose lives I could not save. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? But then I recalled Grandfather's words to my father, years ago, before he left Charlayan behind forever. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the warriors of darkness when I faltered, when I was afraid. But then I thought of my brother, of Urianger. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Mayhap you could recount some of your adventures in Ishgard. Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk. I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders, Warrior of Light. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on, for the sake of those we hold dear.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say. It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts, and thus may they devote their every energy to thwarting thee and thine. I foresee only greater difficulties ahead.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them? I'm starting to think you might hold a candle for your old friends after all.
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. For the power to invoke the ardour belongeth not unto the Ascians alone. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all-too-delicate balance of this realm, plunging her straightways into chaos.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. The words of my teacher, and a creed I hold close to my heart.
Very well. Draw him out. We'll make it quick.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothed? What lives saved? Oh, hapless fool, what hast thou wrought by thine own hands? Minfilia, my friends, I shall not now beg your forgiveness. Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path. As Moonbreeder remains steadfast, so too shall I.
I will be right back.
Okay. Well, it's been quite a while since somebody set us up to be ambushed and assassinated. I've kind of
Yeah.
missed it.
Yeah, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
I just have to say, I did not like him from the first.
I'm kind of wondering where he's going with this. Like, what is his plan? Since he doesn't seem to be to have sided with the Asians, but he seems to, or really sided with the Warriors of Darkness, but he's definitely not on our side.
No. And when
He
did
seems to be.
Go ahead.
I'm wondering. It seems like it's not that he's seeking revenge on his what's her name dying because she chose her path to help us kill one of the Asians, but could it? I don't know. It seems like he's still upset about her dying. I don't know. I couldn't quite understand everything he was saying.
Indeed. And which story did you guys choose to tell Alice?
The bottom one.
The story of you and Alpha Node?
Yeah.
I did Estinian and...
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
What happened? I'm back.
I was just asking which story y'all chose to tell Alice.
Oh, I did this, the middle one.
So between the four of us, we did pick all three of them. So.
Yeah.
Good. And I was telling KJ that it's been a while since we've been set up to be ambushed and assassinated. I've kind of missed it.
Yeah.
What ho? I trust you had a good night's rest. I was but this moment speaking with Thancred and Istola by Link Pearl. They had some interesting news to share. Apparently, during the course of their respective investigations, both came across crates which had borne Ishgardian seals. It would seem that someone in the capital has been very busy indeed. Accordingly, the Temple Knights have launched a full-scale investigation. Sir Imeric believes that it is only a matter of time before the culprits are found. But we shall have to wait and see. In the meantime, it seems only prudent to look into the recent activities of the other tribes, in case they too are flush with the Ishgardian crystals. And with that in mind, I suggest we pay Urianger another... Wait, where is Alice? She was here but a moment ago, with Gabu. Ah, let me guess. It's time to leave, isn't it? My apologies for disappearing again. If it is any consolation, I have already packed my things. How is he? Brother, Commander Bloden, something tells me you are not solely here out of concern for his welfare. But to answer your question, there has been no change. He will not speak or eat. I'm not even sure he slept. If he did, he seems none the better for it. He just shuffles about with the same expression on his face. You will look after him, won't you, Commander? And treat him with every kindness? He's still in there. I know it. Beneath the anguish and the despair, he's still fighting with all his heart. He deserves to be given that chance, until he comes back to us. Until we know for certain what has become of him. Aye, you needn't worry. If he hadn't risked his neck to warn us and help you secure the better part of the crystals, this could have turned out a damn sight worse than it did. We'll not soon forget that, and nor will Maelstrom Command. I'm sorry, Gabu. I truly am. We should never have made you... You should never have been made to... And I know I cannot possibly understand. Mayhap there is nothing I can do or say. The pain, the anger, the helplessness. Hold fast to the memories of better times. Remember them as they were. And when it hurts so much your heart feels fit to burst, let it burst. Let it burst and fill up again with your love for them. And never ever forget. Come along, little one. I will remember them. And you, Alice. Thank you. Have faith, sisters. Sister, your words have reached him. In time he will recover. And those who orchestrated these events will be made to answer for their crimes. A 1,000 times over. Aye, there will be a reckoning. And back to the Waking Sands. They better not send us back here very many more times. I don't have many tickets left.
Yeah,
Me neither.
Joking about how many we had and not using them.
I can't remember where, but I think you can buy more.
Although Horizon's not far from here. If we have to take that point and fly.
We really should make the entrance button thing higher than the people's middles.
Yes. We have heard the glad tidings from Orgomo, my friends. By the grace of the 12 and your most valiant efforts, the people of Limsa Lominsa may rest easy. I should like to think so, yes. Though we failed to prevent the Lord of Crags from manifesting, we did succeed in weakening him, enabling our friend to dispatch him before the Warriors of Darkness could make matters worse. 'Twas by no means an unmitigated success, but it will have to suffice. Then let us speak of another matter, one which weigheth heavy on my lady's mind. As thou did request, I sought the Gurin oracles, that we might better understand the aims of the Warriors of Darkness. Through their copious use of allegory, though their copious use of allegory defieth any single interpretation, the oracles paint a most disturbing picture, one of worlds parallel to our own, apart, yet linked, reduced to ruin with every umbral calamity. 7 times have they succeeded. Then and 10, then of 10 and 3, only 6 worlds remain. Aye, all is as Lady Minfilia spake unto thee. As for what becometh of these reflections when they and the source are rejoined, frail flesh undone in umbral fires, each soul sundereth to her call, to flow into the endless sea, there to endure as one and none. Then if the Warriors of Darkness succeed, everyone in their world will die? In essence, aye. The verse spaketh of the renunciation of the flesh, and subsequent return to the life stream. However, this fate may yet be preferable to their alternative, For if the first were to fall to the transcendent light in the manner the warriors of darkness described, it would give way unto a void wherein none may know either life nor death. Far better to die, they reasoned, for in death there is life. The essence of a soul, which returneth unto the source, may be born anew, saved. Such at least is their belief, I surmise. If that is true, then gods, no one should ever have to make such a choice. Ere we speak further on this subject, I would share with thee another recent discovery. It would seem that several sizable shipments of crystals have been delivered into the hands of certain Alamegan parties. Alamegans? Strange. And you believe this to be the work of the same Ishgardian smugglers who supplied the beast tribes? I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. And lest thou wonder at their motive, I would remind you that the Ascians did once attempt to bring about the summoning of Rolgar. The individuals who took receipt of these shipments are refugees belonging to a group devoted to the cause of Alamegan liberation. It may also interest thee to know that their Ishgardian suppliers appear to be none other than the remnants of Elaine Wairu's network of spies. Surely you jest, and yet it is not so surprising. Bereft of leadership and hunted by the Alliance, I can well imagine such villains being desperate enough to conspire with the Ascians, assuming they even know or care who their employers are. All of which is irrelevant. Forgive me. We must seek out the resistance group which received the crystals without delay. Will you come with me to Little Alamigo? Yes, of course. I should like to hear what they have to say for themselves firsthand. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. Are you three listening? Good. I have tidings. The Temple Knights raided the smuggler's warehouse less than an hour ago. A cursory interrogation of the prisoners yielded confirmation that they were in the employ of, and I hope you were sitting down, a man in black robes. Then you have them? And the crystals too? What few remained, aye. Regrettably, it would seem they dispatched one final shipment in the hours before we struck. 'Twas bound for Little Alamigo. 'Twas bound for Little Alamigo, we were told. Where it will be received by members of the local resistance group. Since Sir Eimerich's men no longer have need of my services, I have a mind to head that way. As do we, by happy coincidence. We learned of the shipments but a few moments ago. Ha! And there I was thinking I might finally be one step ahead of the Warrior of Light and his little helpers. Wait a moment, there is more, and I defy you not to be surprised by this revelation. The leader of the Ishgardian smugglers was formerly in the employ of Elaine Wairu, the infamous Ivy herself. Yes, we knew that, Thancred. Once again, Thancred, I fear I must inform you that... Thancred, with whom else have you shared this information? About the smugglers? No one. As I think I mentioned, the raid was less than an hour ago. I was planning to contact Ishtola next, but is there someone else you'd have me notify first? No, there isn't. Indeed, Alice, where did Urianger hear this information? What in the world has gotten into her? It is twice now that we have sought Urianger's aid, and twice that she has treated him as if he were a stranger. The Archon was one of Grandfather's most dedicated pupils, and spent as much time in the Levelier house as we did. He's practically a member of the family. Truth be told, I struggle to recall a day from my childhood when I did not see the three of them laughing together. If this continues, I may have to raise the matter. Later, though. Little Alamigo awaits.
Listen to your sister. Or can't he get the clues? I mean, hell.
Well, we only know because we see all the other sides. I mean, it's
Yeah.
vague, and I can understand that she doesn't want to say anything.
Well, particularly if Urianger is essentially his uncle.
Yeah.
Which is what Alpha Note just made it sound like. I will get to the bottom of this. Oh, forgive me, it has been a long day. Did you have something to say? Urianger? Oh, I've always struggled to understand what's going on in his head, now more than ever. Listen, if anything should happen, it should be me who... Just know that I am prepared to do what must be done. Right then, to more pressing matters, since we have no idea where Thamgrid might arrive, I suggest that we see what information we can gather in his absence. Also, just a metaphysical question here. They're talking about the whole, if the power of light gets stronger on that world, it's going to burn, or something like that. Why would the light, which is dying on this world, getting stronger, hurt that one? It would seem like getting the light stronger here would actually help that one.
Even
Well,
it out.
Yeah.
The Asians are not. Asians.
Yeah.
I keep the Asians.
Indeed.
They're liars. Asians are liars.
Yes, they are. I skipped the first line. Given the size of the settlement, I find it hard to believe that anyone here could be wholly unaware of the resistance movements. The challenge, of course, will be finding individuals who are both able and willing to share such information with outsiders. It would seem sensible to divide our forces. Why don't you question the residents of the eastern half of town? Alice and I will do the same on the west, and afterwards we can rendezvous here and share our findings. You should have let it go the other way, Alpha Node. The head guy of the Resistance is on the other side, and we're buddies with him.
Yeah.
Ah, let me guess. Come to join the fight, have you? No need to deny it, friend. You're not the first to answer the Griffin's call. While he's lit a fire in every Alamican's heart, he's also inspired more than a few old Dons to pledge themselves to the cause. And little wonder, the Garleans won't stop until we're all under their yoke. I see you there, going around asking questions. Looking for the Griffin and his lot, I'll bet. Seems they're the talk of little Alamigo these days. Folk wondering what he's about, what he's got in store for the Garleans, and what's under that mask of his, of course. Some say he's hardly got a face, with all the scars. Others reckon he's been marked for death by the Empire, and they'd send a bloody legion if they knew he was here. Your guess is as good as mine. Eh? The Resistance? Damned if I know. It's not as if I'd be any use to them. If you set store by all those tales of secret weapons, good luck to you. But I'm too old for the mask's bedtime stories. This is our lot, and it's time we got used to it. I suppose I should ask what you learned, but I think I already know. The Griffin seems to be the leader of a newly formed faction within the Resistance. The Masks. Yet, despite their growing popularity, no one seems to know much about them. Only that they are the most aggressively militant group to join the movement in recent memory. Indeed, many claim their commitment to the cause of Alamegan liberation is unrivaled. We can but hope their revolutionary fervor is never channeled in the direction of a primal. Though I feel confident that this is the group which received the crystal shipments, we yet lack proof. Before taking any action, I would speak with the settlement's leader to confirm my suspicions, and mayhap enlist his help while I'm about it. Given that you and Gundabald are already acquainted, mayhap it would be best if you took the lead, shall we? Anybody want to bet that the Griffin is Ilberd?
Oh, probably.
Ilberd.
Friend. What's his name?
The captain of the Crystal Braves? The guy who cut off Raban's arm?
Oh, bastard. Okay, yeah.
Who did?
We caught it.
Who
No,
did?
he got away.
Yeah, who did all of that to liberate Alamigo? Much as it pleases me to see you again, I cannot help but wonder if I should be worried. I hear you and yours have been asking questions. The Griffin? Aye, I know him, as do we all. He and his masks have become a leading faction within the Resistance. Though there was suspicion at first, given his secretive ways, he quickly proved himself a charismatic and capable commander. Men are drawn to his passion and his vision. They truly believe that he has what it takes to lead them to victory. Even I cannot help but admire the man for what he's accomplished, but I have not forgotten Wilred. I was blind to the danger of his ambitions, and you were not. The Griffin will soon deliver a speech to our people at the sunken temple of Karn. Go and see him with your own eyes. Weigh his words with your own heart. How convenient. It's but a pity Thancred is not here to join us. Oh, Thancred is absolutely already there, Alphanode.
Mm-hmm.
You two go on ahead. I shall stay behind and wait for him. I hate this place. It's so hard to find any way out. And why on earth would anybody do anything in the sunken temple of Karn? Go pick a spot in the bloody desert and do it there. Not this cursed place. Has it begun already? I hear voices coming from within.
Brothers and sisters,
Yeah, it's him.
20 years ago, Alamigo, our home, was claimed by the Garlean Empire. In our haste to overthrow the King of Ruin, we turned a blind eye to our foes in the north.
With our glorious revolution, we but laid a path for a new tyrant to succeed the old. And when confronted with our failure, we fled. Not a day goes by that I do not think of those we left behind. Think of them and feel ashamed. And I know each and every one of you feels the same. We abandoned them, our own flesh and blood, to labor till their backs gave in and their breath gave out, building the twisted steel ramparts which now mar our once majestic mountains. We abandoned them, the brave and true, to fight and die for their country, or worse, to be conscripted and sent off to rob another poor bastard of his home. We abandoned them, the meek and powerless, to bow and scrape when the Garleans pass, to sully themselves that they might live to see another day of misery. The Black Wolf may be dead, but a new Imperial Viceroy reigns in Alamigo now. A beast, not a fraction as merciful. You all know the Eorzean Alliance will do naught to oppose him. For all their promises and platitudes, they will not act if there's no profit in it. Only we can free our brothers and sisters from the Empire's tyranny, my friends. Only we have the courage to stand and fight. They have imprisoned us. They have enslaved us. And they have murdered us. But no more. Blood demands blood, and the Garleans shall pay for every drop they have spilt upon our lands. This I promise you, for we have a power within us, my friends. A power befitting our pride, our righteousness. Only join us, and we shall grant you the means to unleash it, and together we shall see the Alamigan standard raised over the mountains of Gir Arbania once more!
A power befitting their pride. Not at all ominous, that. Wait, is that...
What are you two doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
Well, well, this is quite the surprise.
If you see what I see, if you feel as I feel...
Might I suggest we continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings?
For it is not strength of arms that will win this battle, but strength of heart.
Strength of heart. He's trying to make a different monster, isn't he?
Almost certainly. And also, I would like it noted that you can only see their backs. They're wearing different clothes. The only thing about them that's the same is Ida's not pants. And that is what Alpha Node recognized.
Guaranteed.
I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, they would give her away every time.
Words
I want to see a sketchbook.
Indeed. Words cannot express how glad I am to see both of you alive and well. And you. That was pretty obvious you and he would be fine. The Crystal Braves never had a realistic chance of capturing any of the Scions, divided as they were and distrusted by a better part of Eorzea. But if you truly believed that, forgive me, what exactly have you two been doing all this time? Repaying a favor. After the banquet, we had no choice but to flee Ul'dah, and we would not have been able to do so without the aid of some old friends from the Resistance. That's right. They smuggled us out of the city and sheltered us in Little Alamigo, all at great risk to themselves. Obviously, we couldn't let that go unacknowledged, so we offered to help them with their operations for a while. When we learned of the Scion's exoneration, that Lalarito had severed all ties with the Crystal Braves, and that General Raban had been reinstated, we resolved to make contact, but having long since discarded our link pearls as a precautionary measure, our options were rather limited. To make matters more complicated, we were embroiled in a delicate operation at the time, leaving me with little choice but to entrust a letter to a courier. I gather from your puzzled expressions, however, that you never received it. To be honest, we thought this might happen. While the masks are happy to let the refugees spread the word within the community, they are pretty strict about communicating with outsiders. Oh, and we also heard a rumor that the Griffin doesn't want us meddling in his affairs. The Griffin mistrusts the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Curious. It is well known that we are no friends to Garlemald. One would think that the man we saw was blah, blah, blah. One would think the man we saw beseeching all and sundry to join his cause would welcome our support. I should say that the man you saw was not, in fact, the Griffin, but an impersonator, and a talented rabble-rouser to boot. It would not surprise me if he were responsible for the majority of these public appearances. As you may have gathered, the Griffin is extremely cautious and distrusting man, who had made every effort to conceal his identity. Even when he participated in a raid under his direct command, when we participated in a raid under his direct command, we were not permitted to approach him. It's hard to know what to make of it all. The secrecy, the impersonators, the masks. What? It's not as if I'm making all of you wear one, and mine only covers half my face. It's completely different. Anyway, when we heard the Griffin was due to give a speech, we thought it might be a good opportunity to get a better sense of the man for all the good it did. And now you have the whole of it. But tell me, what prompted you to take an interest in the Griffin? Summoning? Can't be serious. I can't believe it. The Resistance would never even entertain such a ridiculous plan. But the Griffin? Well, the man is an enigma. I cannot say with any confidence what he would or would not do. What I can say, however, is that the speech we heard today was not the first to make reference to a power capable of defeating the Empire. The masks have made many such claims of late. I confess I had assumed it to be mere bluster, but in the context of the shipments of which you spoke, it is not impossible that they are alluding to a primal. Whatever it is, we'll find out together. And if anyone tries to stop us, they'll answer to me. Indeed. That is assuming you'll have us. Stoic nod.
Getting the party back together again.
Mm-hmm. If, as you suspect, the Griffin is indeed plotting to summon a primal, we must needs obtain confirmation while there is yet time to act. To that end, I propose we question his double. Given his role as the group's de facto mouthpiece, I should not be surprised if he were one of the Griffin's closest associates. And while he may not be aware of the most sensitive details, he could probably tell us the mask's plans in broad strokes. Like the man whom he impersonates, however, he is wary of outsiders. He will not expose himself without suitable incentive. My plan is as follows. You and Alpha Node will pose as adventurers fallen on hard times, inspired by his words to take up arms for a noble cause. Ida and I, as members of the Resistance, will recount tales of your past achievements and testify as to your usefulness in the struggles ahead. With our enthusiastic assurances still ringing in his ears, he will decide to welcome you in person, and we will arrange a meeting. You will need to look the part that we might maintain the charade, until we have him cornered at least. Here, this should be enough to purchase suitable garments from Talbot, and to have him rub a respectable amount of dirt on them for good measure. Any questions? All seems simple enough, thank you. And with that, let us be off. You want to buy what? I don't know what you're up to, but I want no part of it. Here, have a sack of money. Well, you're the ones with the gill, and seeing as you're friends of Papa Limo. There, tunic and slops for both of you, tailored and, treated to your tastes. Now, off with you, before someone sees us together. Clothes maketh the man, as they say. Right then, I will go and change, and see you at the spot Papa Limo marked on our maps.
I don't know about you, Alba. I make these look good.
Now look at us, a pair of down-at-heel adventurers seeking a chance to recapture past glories. Yes, this should suffice. And now we play the waiting game.
This isn't gonna go well.
Nope, not at all.
My thanks, comrades. You must be the esteemed adventurers of whom I've heard so much. I understand you have taken an interest in our cause.
A great interest, you might say. Your words have certainly made quite an impression on my friend and I. The Resistance has long, and some would say wisely, avoided open engagements with the Garleans, but you and yours seem confident against the world in arms.
Oh, you really sound like an adventurer, Alphanode.
I can only assume you have good reason to be so bold. Why, one might even think you are planning to summon a primal. Because that would do much to explain the sizable shipment of crystals you recently received from your smuggler friends, whom our Ishgardian allies have since detained, lest you wonder.
I'd like to hear more about the Griffin. The real Griffin. Your performance earlier didn't fool us.
Ah, the famous scions of the Seventh Dawn. I should have known better than to think I could conceal the truth from you lot. You are right. I am not the Griffin, but I speak with his voice, and it was at his behest that we procured those crystals. You are wrong, however, if you think that we procured them to summon a primal. We used them to reach an accord with the Amalja. In exchange for crystals to summon their god, they will aid us in the fight for Alamegan liberation.
You've got to be joking. Have you gone completely mad? When people find out you helped the Lizardmen summon Ifrit, they'll turn on the Resistance. Alamigo will never be free.
This isn't a fairy tale, girl. We don't have the luxury to play at being honourable heroes. It's because the likes of you wouldn't sully your saintly hands that Alamigo's been under the yoke for the past 20 years. But the Griffin won't stand for it, and neither will we. We're ready to do whatever it takes.
What proof do you have of this arrangement with the Amalja?
What? Aside from a lack of crystals? None. But the beastmen have a great big pile of the things if you fancy looking. You might want to hurry, though. It'll not be long before they summon their god. Search our camp if you don't believe me. We have naught to hide.
If there is a cache to be found, Ida and I will find it.
Then let us be off. Are you perchance the Warrior of Light? Aye. I thought so. You should know that a great many who have joined us did so because you saved them. Because you showed them that one brave man can make a difference. You saved me too once. Helped a friend over in Quarry Mill make some medicine I needed. But that was a lifetime ago.
I remember that quest.
On behalf of my brothers and sisters, I thank you. You gave us hope where there was none, courage and strength when all was lost. We shall not squander your gift.
I know that look, Ida, and I do not like it. You cannot seriously be contemplating taking up arms with that band of cutthroats.
I just...
If the Griffin and his men have their way, it is only a matter of time before the situation in Alamigo comes to a head. Your homeland's future teeters on a knife edge, and any reckless action, however small, could have irrevocable consequences. You mustn't lose sight of that, Ida. When the time comes, we must all make our choices, but we must do so in full possession of the facts. Now, let us away. There is work to be done.
Plus, that she wants help from the Scions.
Quarry Mill, he said? Do you remember? Forgive me, you cannot be expected to recall every name and face, and besides, it's not as if it matters. I remember the quest. We had to do a whole bunch of stuff for that guy. But I don't remember him having a name. I have long admired how you live in the present, how you focus on problems at hand and always keep moving forward. So let us keep moving forward together. We must find and secure those crystals. This is no time for looking back. And we get to pick more food.
I'll take the gold.
Yeah, none of it's tank food. If we take the Griffin's double at his word, then the crystals are now somewhere in Zaharak, ready to be put to use by the Amoja. We must apprise Alice of what we have learned. I will join you both in Little Amigo after I've changed. Now that Thancred has finally arrived, mayhap you can share your latest findings. You mean to tell me that while we were worrying ourselves sick, Ida and Papalimo were here all along? Well, Istola will be relieved, and also angry. Mainly angry, I should think. As for the crystals, what choice do we have? We cannot very well leave them in the hands of the Amoja. For all we know, they could be preparing to summon Ifrit even as we speak. We must make for Zaharak without delay. Agreed. If there is naught else to discuss, let us depart at once. And so they go forth, in accordance with the Griffin's plan. The players gather to assume their marks on a stage wreathed in flame. Ere long, the curtain shall rise, and the drama of which I am author, gods forgive me, shall at last be performed. Naught else remaineth, save to stand at the ready and pray that that the chance is seized, for never shall we know its like again. I confess, I expected a warmer greeting, but we must not jump to conclusions, not until we have braved the Bowl of Embers. We must be ready to engage the enemy at any moment. If you would make for any final preparations, pray do so now. I shall await your signal. Upon proceeding to the Bowl of Embers, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Oh, we got a break party.
Dying.
Highly likely, yes.
This isn't right. The Amalja would never leave this place so poorly guarded.
Not willingly, no.
Ah, the saviors of Eorzea. Slow as ever.
By the 12. Will you never learn?
You know, you're right. Mayhap it is time for a change of tack. Killing primals, tormenting beastmen, hastening the birth of a new god. It's all a bit much, isn't it? And frankly, we don't have the leisure to do it. But killing the warrior of light, on the other hand. that would soon plunge Eorzea into chaos. One life for one world. A fair exchange! Wouldn't you agree?
Lest you forget, you've more than one opponent.
Carbuncle! Defend me!
I sense you will offer more than mere target practice, unlike your sister.
Alize!
Did I not tell you, Alphino? I am not the girl I once was. My brother was always the clever one, while my talents lay elsewhere. If you would dare to stand against us, to destroy all that we hold dear, then you shall die by my sword!
Let's finish this.
That's not fair, they got 2 tanks.
Only one healer, though.
Which one's that one? The Lolopad?
You shall fall soon enough.
There's no escape! No more games! It ends now. What?
The chains!
You snake! You would betray us as well?
He that holdeth fast unto his convictions shall never count betrayal amongst his crimes, though all the world may call him villain. My path is unchanged, my creed sacrosanct. This I believe with all my heart. But say, warrior of darkness, and speak true, what dost thou believe? That rendering up the souls of thy world in service to the rejoining will grant it salvation? Nay.
By the 12! Oriange!
Mine apologies, Master Alphino. That the brightest light might shine, duty did compel me to walk in darkest shade.
You sweet fool. I was almost willing to believe you had turned against us. I expect a full explanation when this is over. For now, may I assume you have turned your cloak for the last time?
Thou mayest, my lady. By thy leave.
Even odds, then. No matter. We'll crush the lot of you in one fell swoop!
Understood.
Hearken to me. We only have one chance. Channel your ether into my blade that I might strike before the mage casts his spell. I cannot do it alone, but together we can defeat them. Make ready! They come! I must have more ether. Ether! Oh, it's not enough!
Okay, so I'm crazy. I can't figure out where how you do this.
The words Blade of Light will appear. You can click on them.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't see it until much later either.
I can't see it though. I did it once and that was it.
It'll come back. You gotta go and fight them for a while.
Yeah, the BS part is that they come back too.
neighbor. I'll crush you!
"'Tis done! With this blade I banish the darkness!"
No. Not like this.
Alize, are you hurt?
A touch dizzy, but otherwise fine. Thank you.
And there you have it. Our friend is too stubborn to die.
We are far from finished. Or have you never considered how we came to this world?
Crystals? You mean, like the Ascians?
Just so. As the Ascians flee unto the rift twixt planes with crystals of darkness, so did these warriors come hither with crystals of light.
Eloquent, as always. Aye, like the Ascians, we too are beyond death. You cannot defeat that which is eternal.
Wait! Such methods as the Ascians employ require the renunciation of the flesh. You would have had to...
At long last, you see. To save our world, we gave our lives. We were just adventurers trying to make our way. An odd job here, a favor there. We never aspired to be warriors of light. But word of our deeds spread. And soon people were calling us heroes. They placed their hopes and dreams on our shoulders and bid us fight for all that was good and right. We fought, and we fought, and we fought, until there was no one left to fight. We won! And now our world is being erased from existence. We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this. You of all people should understand. We will not falter. We brought our world to the brink of destruction, and now we must save it.
I've died before, Arbet. I'm not afraid to die again.
No matter how many times we fall, we must rise and carry on the fight for those we left behind.
To have known the depths of sorrow and embraced the highest sacrifice. Nonetheless, Master Louis-Soix, guide my hand, I pray you, as fate's thread spinneth upon this most capricious spindle. Quickly! Thou must needs invoke the power of thy crystal.
What is this place?
Such pain. Such sorrow. Oh, my dear children.
It can't be.
Mother Heidelin, hearken unto your children's plea. From two worlds do we gather, and from two worlds do we offer a bounty of light. In this desperate hour we do beseech your intercession. We beg an audience with the word of the Mother, with your chosen Minfilia.
Your cries go not unheard, nor your sacrifices unnoticed. Though many are lost, there are those we can yet save, whom I can yet save.
Minfilia!
Blessed children of the first, the light of your world hath grown blinding in its radiance, but it is not yet absolute. I will hie me to your world, and there take unto myself the light which riseth even now to drown it, as darkness once did drown another.
Now you deign to answer our prayers? I will suffer this farce no longer!
As the Ascians must serve as instruments of Zodiark's will, so too must others carry out the will of Hydaelyn. But for the boon you have granted her, she has grown strong enough to set me free, that I might serve as her emissary. Your suffering, your sacrifice, your supplications, she has heard all. We will not let the first fall to light. Thank you, Urianger, for bringing everyone here. It fills my heart with joy to look upon the faces of my friends once more.
In taking you unto her bosom, I knew that Hydaelyn had bequeathed to you a sliver of her grace, granting you strength long sought. And in treating with the Ascians, I learnt of a star like unto our own, a doomed world of fallen heroes, in whom I glimpsed ourselves, the first. Full long did I search for a means to save this world, concluding at the last that the answer lay in the power of blessed crystals. And thus did I labor to set light against dark. Yet I knew from the beginning that this salvation would not come without sacrifice. For the instrument of the first's deliverance would of necessity be required to journey thither, there to remain, mayhap forever.
You orchestrated all of this, not to save her, but to send her away!
One life for one world. Such was the bargain, and you the coin, though it were not mine to spend.
Have we not walked together in the light of the crystal, and at her bidding borne witness to the joys and sorrows of this land? Each and every one of you knows my heart. If this be the price I must pay, I pay it gladly.
You would go alone, then?
My dearest Thancred, you who have ever watched over me, I am truly grateful for all you have done on my behalf, as would my father be. Your kindness, your compassion, your love. These are your gifts to me, and our gifts to them, forming a bond which transcends time and space.
Sometimes I forget you are not the child I once knew. Make me proud.
Long have I watched you from Hydaelyn's side, watched as you nurtured and kept safe the light of the dawn. The dark recesses of the world hide untold secrets and dangers. Thus do I entrust to you, Tupsimati. I pray you, keep to the path that you may never have need of it.
Twould seem the power of our crystals is all but spent. Perhaps, if there is naught else to be done,
Hear me, servant of Hydaelyn. If you would have us place our trust in you, then I would ask a favor. Take us with you. Take us home. We were blind to the truth once, so I tell you this, as one fool to another. Light, dark, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you choose to use them. We made our choice and you see what came of it, so please, forge a different path. Seize a better fate.
It is a strange feeling. So many times have I watched you depart, my heart filled with worry. And ever did you return to me in triumph. Someday, when I have found a way to free this star from her sorrow, I promise you I shall repay the favor. Thank you, Lemine, for everything.
Oh, and now we wait for them to make it through. I'm not sure how I made it through faster than them, though.
Did you turn in already?
I have not.
Okay.
Although for a moment there, I was thinking that all of y'all had, and I was just standing here for no reason.
I had waited too long to hit the blade for the first time, and then I just kept getting interrupted and interrupted and interrupted.
Gotcha. Yeah, the third time I had to charge the blade, the ranger had me targeted and kept shooting me. So I just went over there and killed her. So
Yeah, yeah.
of course then the warrior of light came, or warrior of darkness came back to life and jumped me again. So I had to wait for I think Alpha Node actually pulled aggro off of me.
Yeah, I had to wait for aggro to be pulled too. I'd kill one and then end up having to have one pull aggro. So I'll be right back again.
Okay. I never noticed how little health crafters have.
Yeah.
I could breathe on you hard and kill you right now, KJ.
Yeah. Gatherers have more.
Yeah.
Not much. Only twice.
Enough to survive maybe one hit by a random mob. They can run
Yeah.
away.
Well, yeah, but the gatherers can camo, so
Yeah.
the circles flying around me. Sweet.
I actually do like the animation for that.
Oh, that
I'm
healing.
back.
Welcome back.
Oh, that's not Zora. I guess Zora's here too. Huh?
Thank you.
Yep. Alright, we can turn in. It would seem we are in southern Thanalan again. Minfilia's doing, no doubt. May the 12 speed her on her way. And the warriors of darkness too. I cannot help but wonder what awaits those wayward souls. If they gave their lives in order to travel to the source, then in returning to the first, would they not? But mayhap that was their wish. Oh, we get another pet.
Oh, what's her name?
Forgive me, my thoughts were elsewhere. And this when I know full well that there is yet work to be done. The crystals, leave them to me. I will go into Zaharak and secure them. The Amalja will still be in disarray after the thrashing the warriors of light gave them. They are not like the warriors of darkness gave them. They are not like to notice a lone bard skulking about. But Thancred, you aren't a bard.
Yeah, what the hell?
Don't have to do this, I know. But I want to. I will see you at the Rising Stones. I should go and find Ida and Papalimo. They must have finished searching the Mask's camp by now. Not that it matters anymore. Also, I like the little revelation there that Alpha Node's the one who was the prodigy. Alice's the one who kicks people's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can see through their deceptions.
Mm-hmm. You must be tired. I know I am. If thou wilt permit me, my lady, I would ask a question. When dost thou become aware of mine independent pursuits? When I saw you meeting with that warrior of darkness and the Ascian in the white in the great library. I tried not to think the worst. You've never been one to confide in others, so I knew that even were your intentions pure, you would not share your plans with us until you felt the time was right. But I cannot deny that part of me feared you had simply betrayed us. Would there had been another way. Know that I took no pleasure in deceiving thee, and that these sins will forever weigh heavy on my heart. I understand why you did what you did, that you but sought to achieve the greatest good while inflicting the least harm. Not many would have courage to make that choice. But even knowing that what came of your actions, I find that I cannot condone them. I'm sorry. Forgive me, but I believe the events of the day have taken their toll on me. I shall let you rest. I should like to rest for a while. If thou will grant me leave, I would gladly escort thee into a refuge of thine own choosing. Once my lady hath regained her strength, we shall join thee at the Rising Stones. Until then, warrior of light.
So she could see the white one too, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought nobody else besides us and then Mephilia were the only ones that could see it.
I want to say it has something to do with being maybe one of the Archons, maybe. Although
Okay.
Alice isn't an Archon. I don't know, but she is trained like them, so I don't know.
Yeah, and her own grandpa was the first one, wasn't he? The one that created him?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Where to?
Flying toward the marker on the map.
Well, that won't be no good.
What, you have your mini-map turned off again?
Oh, my mini-map's not that zoomed in. My mini-map is zoomed in more. I can't see that far out. I have to turn the regular map on.
Oh, well, I just go by the little tick mark around the circle. Tells me what direction to go.
I got too many quests saying turn in over here, over here, over here.
Ah, gotcha. Well met. Alpha Node said you would be joining us. It would seem the Griffin's double was telling the truth, insofar as we found nothing resembling a sizable cache of crystals in the Mask's camp. Did you perchance find one in Zaharak? Actually, we found quite a bit in Zaharak.
Yeah, too late.
I don't believe it. The crystals, Minfilia, all of it, it's just... I don't know what it is. I sympathize, Ida. Even now, I struggle to comprehend that which I saw. The only thing I can say with any certainty is that I feel blessed to have been granted a final chance to speak with her. 'Twas bittersweet, aye, but also affirming. Alphanode, I believe it is past time Ida and I rejoin the Scions. We have been away for far too long. Though I am loath to leave the Griffin to his own devices, I feel our investigation would benefit from more dispassionate perspectives. and I hope that we might, in turn, offer our own opinions on the many challenges that you have faced in our absence. Gods, it's been absolute ages, hasn't it? I can't wait to hear about everyone's adventures. We should be glad to recount them, and Tartaru's tales may well surprise you. Ida? Ida? Ralgar be praised, it is you! Ida, alive and standing here before me? In the flesh? I can hardly believe my eyes. Oh, come on now. Has it really been so long you don't remember me? It's Gundabald. I fought beside your father in the Revolution. Do not think less of her, friends. It's been 20 years since the occupation sent us our separate ways. But the resistance were always welcome in Little Alamigo. They gave us hope, and young Ida most of all. Ida here was always full of fire. Ever the first to volunteer for a mission, until the day she up and vanished, that is. There were rumors, and we feared the worst, but here you are, alive and well, and looking nary a day older. Well, what can I say? I'm sorry for running off like that and making you all worry. It's a long story, but you see, I got involved with my friends here, the Scions. Sorry we were still the Circle of Knowing back then, right? Anyway, I wanted to come back and tell you, but it was all very secretive stuff at the time, and as you can see, I'm completely fine. I know we've got a lot to talk about, and we will, but right now I've got to hurry back to our headquarters. My friends are expecting me. Pray forgive her. It has been a very long day for us all. I promise we will visit again at the first opportunity. Well, that was interesting. Let us return to the Rising Stones.
Yeah, they've been there the whole time.
Hells take me for giving you that mask.
Wait, giving who that mask? Her or the mask?
I'm assuming he was talking about Ida.
Yeah. Rising Stone.
That would be Revenant's Toll. Welcome home. I trust your journey was uneventful. You will be pleased to hear that Thancred has secured the crystals. He sent word a short while ago. Once he has delivered them safely into the Temple Knight's care, he will rejoin us here, and we can declare this matter officially resolved. While awaiting your arrival, I took the opportunity to contact Ishtola and Kryl and brief them on all that has occurred. I also requested that they return to the Rising Stones at their earliest convenience. Now that our lost friends have been found, it would seem meet to discuss the future. Ida changed back into her old clothes.
Back in the solar. It's been too long since we were all together like this. Not since after Moonbraider.
Much has changed since then. We ourselves, most of all.
Though not all who were lost could be gathered here today, we may take comfort in the knowledge that those who are not are carrying on the fight.
While I am grateful to our friends in the north for their hospitality, it isn't half good to be back.
But, as Papalima rightly said, much has changed since we last stood here. The Scions of the Seventh Dawn are not as they once were, nor should we be. Our travels in the north brought us into contact with a host of fine and generous people, and their selfless deeds serve to show me that it is not lofty causes that should inform our actions, but our hearts. And I hope that the Scions might continue in this manner, as individuals driven by individual principles. Provided we all sincerely desire to work towards Eorzea's salvation, I believe the paths we follow to achieve it need not, and should not, be dictated by any single ideal.
Companions bound by a common purpose, free to go whither they will. The idea is not without merit. Very well. I shall resume my research of the primals and the elder gods of Eorzea. Should anyone have need of my findings, you need only ask. I should be glad of your continued assistance.
Well, my main purpose in coming here was to see the signs of the Seventh Dawn restored and my dear friend found. Nevertheless, having involved myself in your struggles, I feel compelled to see them through to the bitter end. For Minfilia's sake. That is, if there are no objections.
You will always be welcome here, Kryl.
Urianger, can we trust you to carry on your investigation of the Ascians as before?
Regardless of mine own desires, I am undeserving of your trust, having so villainously deceived you all.
Now, I'll hear no more of that. 'Twould be disrespectful of Minfilia's wishes. She entrusted matters here to us, that we might protect this star and understand the truth which hides at her heart. Mayhap I can handle the former, but I think you far better suited to the latter. No?
Very well. Then out of love for my Lady Minfilia and Moonbreeder both, this shall be my solemn charge.
Papalimo and I should probably return to Thanalan to keep an eye on the Resistance. There's still the matter of the Griffin and the Amalja, not to mention the new Imperial Viceroy. That little lot must be worthy of our attention, right?
And what will you do, Alize?
You know I have no great love for organizations and formalities. That being said, this new approach you propose is not wholly objectionable, and we've always got him to keep us from bickering. But I will suffer no titles. I am not here for House Leveilleur, nor to walk in Grandfather's shadow.
Upon that point, we see eye to eye. If it please you, you may think of me as but another comrade in arms.
Well then, Alfie, I for my part shall see to the paperwork and the finances with my characteristic aplomb.
I would not have it any other way, Tataru. And we mustn't forget you. What now for the Warrior of Light? Indeed.
The path behind us was fraught with hardship, and the path before us will be no less unforgiving. But a new dawn shall break over the realm, and I see before me the faces of those who will deliver it.
Look at them. The scions of the Seventh Dawn. Look how far we've come. The people we've met, the moments we've shared, the losses we've suffered, the tragedies we've overcome. All of it has made us who we are today. Where we go from here, and what the future holds, only the 12 know. But I know that we will find out together.
One world's heroes are another world's villains. One world's loss, another world's gain. Where men go as one, there is life. And where there is life,
From here on henceforth, we shall be known as the New Dawn.
My friends, if I may, I would ask that you entrust Tupsimati to me. Clouds gather upon the horizon, and as Master Louisoix's disciple, I would keep it close at hand.
No problem, Ariel.
Thank you. I shall guard it well.
Doing fine. How about you?
There is cause to hope. For every ending, every parting, marks a new beginning.
Well done, brother. You may resume your normal duties and rejoin the others. The coming battle shall be our greatest yet, and I intend to stand with you on that glorious day. True believers are so readily led. I do not miss midterms. Not in the least. I've given them everything they desired, all for which they have prayed. I doubt you can say the same for your pawns. Get what you wanted then? Was it all worth it in the end? There were some unexpected developments, but they were ultimately to our advantage. Be it host to a surfeit of light or dark, a world bereft of equilibrium is but a void in waiting, and a void is of no use to my master. I shall follow her emissary with great interest. As for the pawns, whom you so pity, they have delivered unto me a gift, which I do now present to you. Oh no, not the eyes. The eyes of Nidhogg. Many were the candidates considered, but by your deeds you have proven yourself the most deserving. A man of boundless rage and bottomless despair, in whose breast beats a heart which thirsts for vengeance. Only you are fit to wield these eyes, for weal or for woe. So it was here all along. Hello, Nero. Oh, just you wait, my pretty. You and I are going to have so much fun. Ah, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Where in the world is the Diamond Forge?
Nero makes me think of Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I can see that.
Yeah, he should have given me the eyes instead of chucking it over the edge.
We're one of the ones who chucked them over the edge, KJ.
I should have just kept the damn thing. Wasn't me. It was you and Emo. I saw you both.
So who is Tartaru shopping for now?
I don't know, cause I don't know.
It's in here.
Downstairs?
First door on the right on the inside, or on the first floor.
Yeah, turn back. Yeah, there you go.
I would have thought it was another quest, but generic Jack has been popping up every time we've been doing a quest tonight, so he's doing the same stuff we are.
It's a good name.
I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments.
Oh, it's for us.
What are you doing, Tartaru? Ready, everyone? Ready to go to work? No squirming now. Oh, you might want to close your eyes.
Oh, that grin.
That grin. And the look of absolute terror on our face.
I know, right?
Follow the hee hee hee. I think she stripped us down. Oh, I'm in a fight.
There. All finished. The Warrior of Light's every measurement for her, from heroic head to intrepid toe. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time. All in good time. Aha! Found you. Alphino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on, we have everything we need. No sense of keeping everyone waiting. What, Alphino's calling a meeting after he essentially disbanded the Scions just a few minutes ago?
Yeah. Oh, and given the oh,
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Orianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Oh, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede he might struggle to balance his new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
Tataru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Narco! God, how did... You stole her! Please, you have to help her!
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all.
They need to learn more spells.
Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance.
Yeah, I kind of assumed that.
I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emeric and encourage him to send an envoy. Tataru, Krile, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. the beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Okay, who's he talking to first? And second, we shouldn't have given him that damn whatever it was. The staff. Oh, you guys aren't out.
Oh, we're out. We're out here
Okay.
sitting at the table.
I mean, Menphilia gave it to us, you, me, whoever, for a purpose.
Hoping that it would never be used. Yes.
Yeah. I just don't trust that little law fell. You can't trust those short people.
Well, I did note that they don't make very good nurses since, you know, the person they're trying to help can't even reach their heads. watching the cat girl limp off while two Lalafell tried to help her stay upright. Like, you're not going to be able to do much by holding onto her shins.
Where are we going to? That night? No.
Yep. Foundation.
Yeah, but when you're dying on your back, I can reach to the head pretty easy as a healer.
Just a moment. I see a purple quest.
That's been there for a while, though.
I haven't been back to Ishgard in a while.
Did you accept it?
Of course. I always pick up purple quests. Except for levy meats. I don't touch those. Where in the world am I going? I'm apparently confused as to where I am in the city.
I should.
Yeah,
know
just hit the
better than to
forgotten
follow
night.
you.
What was that, Zora?
Should know better than to follow you.
Indeed. We should always follow Emo. Emo knows where Emo's going.
Unless she's following you. Or someone else.
Well, in that case, you were following me. Greetings, Warrior of Light. What brings you to Ishgard? I see. Wait here, I shall summon Sir Imric. It is good to see you, my friend. It is but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would certainly have sent for some wine. But to business. I thank you for bringing me these developments in Alamigo, to my attention. Ishgard will, of course, send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? I thank you. Our representative, whomever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handaloop of that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Pray accompany Lucia to the gates of judgment, and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury speed you on your way. If you have no other business in the city, join me at the gates of judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not, I concede, that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone. Not with the ink scarce dry on the Republic's Book of Statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border.
I find it interesting when somebody has to be healed that they don't have the option that if you're a healer class that you could do it.
Yeah, I think it's probably along the lines of you're better at healing than they are. So.
And probably completely heal them when they want them to die sometimes.
The garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me? You may see a familiar face. How wonderful to see you, and Sir Imeric too. To what do I owe the unexpected pleasures? I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you will excuse me. Nay, do not trouble yourself, Honoroi. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as natural as breathing to to an Imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate with these developments to Lord Francel at the Observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander.
I still can't picture him as the commander.
Surprised to see yours truly at the helm. You and me both, old boy. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Yet we can but play the hand we are dealt. And with a little help from the veterans and Honoroy's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. So worry not, old boy. Off to Gridania with you.
I was going to say either him or the older brother, but the older brother's got to take care of the household.
Yep. Hey, you can teleport us to Gridania when ready, KJ.
I think this is New Grid. Oh, let me... Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure. I just clicked and I was like, wait a second, where was I going?
Well, crap. That's what I get for presuming that we automatically go to the Conjurers Guild.
Yeah, Iberic's just standing next to the to the Aetheryte.
Ah, damn it.
Of course, you know we're going to have to go to the Conjurers Guild in about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when I first laid eyes upon it. I fear at this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? And now we go talk to the guy who talks to us but isn't supposed to talk.
Mr. Silence himself.
Indeed. The envoy from Ishgard has arrived? Very good. This way if you and the Leminsian party as well. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Imeric. Admiral, always a pleasure. I trust you are well. It is a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort. Hello, Yugiri. I was glad to hear from Real that the missing scions have now been found. There's much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gir Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This Griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force. And the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies laboured to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people, too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired? Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Imeric. Master Alphino, a pleasure as always. And Mistress Alice, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank... I'd hope to thank him for for serving as our escort before other duties called him away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me hide in the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mistress Yugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard's support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seedseer to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Amric. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight by your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Yugiri? Actually, I think I shall first pay a visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papalimo and Ida fared in their talks with the Sylphs. Not to mention what has been going on at Belisar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. Hey, Revenant's Toll when you're ready, KJ.
Scrolling. It's at the bottom.
I had to take exactly one step to get to her. So, welcome back. I don't know about you, but I am heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that the council meetings are important, but do you find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Burn, Alice. Burn. Well, as much as I enjoy the bustle of the toll, I think it's time we headed inside. My brother and the others will not be long. Ah, you're returned from the council. What of Alphanode? Did some other matter require his attention? My apologies, friends. I trust we have not kept you waiting over long. Greetings, everyone. Oh, Kryle. How's Nago doing? She will be alright, won't she? I don't see why not. She's sleeping at the moment. Tartar is keeping an eye on her. So we'll know soon enough if there's any change in her condition. Her wounds are healing well. With sufficient rest, I am certain she will make a full recovery. Thank goodness for that. Now, mayhap you would share with us the council's decision? Each of the nations, Ishgard included, has committed to providing military support for Gridania. The Eorzean Alliance will soon have a significant force in the Black Shroud, ready to respond to any Imperial act of aggression. You know, I almost wish the Council would stop messing around and give the Griffin what he wants. I wouldn't like to be the Imperial caught between the Resistance and the Alliance. Ida, you cannot seriously... One does not lightly go to war with the Garlean Empire. Quite. To open hostilities without due consideration would be to invite disaster. If only there was some way to reach the Griffin. Some means to convince him to abandon this reckless course. It may not be entirely unfeasible. There's a network of tunnels beneath Balasar's walls, secret passages dug by the Resistance to provide a way out of Alamigo, which may equally serve as a way in. Precisely. If we are all in agreement, I would be the one to undertake the necessary negotiations. I am familiar with the route, and the Resistance is familiar with me. About as familiar as they are with me, you mean? Say what you want, I'm coming too. I have some experience in the practice of infiltration. If you would have me, my services are at your disposal. As are mine. It's been far too long since I shared a shadow with a shinobi, and I do not intend to waste the opportunity. 4 is quite sufficient an infiltration mission. Greater numbers will only serve to increase the risk of detection. Kryle and I will direct our energies elsewhere. What of you, Leveliers? I'll return to the East Shroud and stand watch over the border. Should matters take a turn for the worst, 'twould seem wise to be on hand. Might I prevail on you to accompany me? Gridania will be safer for your presence, and while it may not seem the most thrilling duty, dear sister, might I ask that you remain at the Rising Stones to pass on messages and so on? To hold the fort, you mean? Very well, I suppose the task must fall to someone. Safe travels, all of you. If you have any unfinished business in the toll, pray attend to it now. I would depart for Hawthorne Hut without delay. The nearby watchtower offers an unobstructed view of Balasar's wall, and I should be interested to speak to the Alliance commanders who have installed themselves at the top. And on to Hawthorne Hut, KJ. Ah yes, Hawthorne Hut. It sounds like a place for an army to be gathering. Ah, there you are. Come. Amarasai's spire awaits. The Alliance officers on the platform should be able to apprise us of any developments at the wall. Fancy meeting you two here. We were about to set forth. Indeed, I was about to say 12 watch over you, but I doubt you have need for divine protection, even if you are venturing into enemy territory. Don't worry, Alpha Node. We'll have the Griffin by the scruff of the neck before you know it. Do make up your mind, Ida. Nary a moment ago you seemed ready to shake the Griffin by the hand rather than the neck. So which is it to be? It would be best to decide before we enter into negotiations. Trust me, Papalimo. I'll shake whatever needs shaking. The talking part I'll leave to you. I only just realized... Oh, wait, no, that's his mask. Never mind. I thought he was wearing the head of the staff around his neck like an amulet. I think I feel a headache coming on. Let's be on our way, shall we? Some things never change. Well then, shall we make for the spire? Our alliance friends will doubtless have news for us. Okay. I see that that's a watchtower. Okay, that's the wall we're looking at. So, like, it's shorter than the trees around it, so I'm not sure what it's watching. Welcome, Warrior of Light. I assume you are here to speak with our commanding officers. You will find them on the observation platform. Pray proceed. Hello, Hilda and Pippin. Greetings, my friends. 'Tis good to see you both well. I was hoping you might turn up. I've dragged half the watch here. See? And the sight of you might help remind them why we bothered. If memory serves, I have not seen many of you since the day of the grand melee. Having borne the brunt of your blows, may I say it was an honor, what an honor it is to stand at your side. It is heartening indeed to see the realm's most stalwart defenders thus gathered in a common cause. Speaking of which, what news from the wall? All has been quiet. Not quiet no more. Report. What? 7 hells. Fighting has broken out on top of the wall. A full-scale assault. So the Griffin has made his move. Someone has. And what's this supposed to mean? The attackers, they're wearing Grand Company colors. Impossible. We gave no such order. Of course. The wall was never the Griffin's target. It was bait. We've been goaded into deploying our armies nearby, thus lending weight to his deception. If those uniforms were convincing enough to deceive my scouts, the Empire will surely think we've launched an offensive. This could mean war. Even so, this may yet be more than a diversion. With the armies of the Alliance occupying the Empire's attention, it would be comparatively easy for the Griffin's supporters to slip into Alamigo. He could then incite rebellion amongst the populace, which the Imperial reserves would be hard-pressed to contain. Eorzea, meanwhile, would be plunged into chaos. We must make for the wall at once. Wait, just the two of you? Our companions embarked on a mission to sway the Griffin from his course, and are likely halfway to his command post by now. They will emerge in the midst of a raging battle, and I do not mean to abandon them to their fate. It will be dangerous, aye, but the confusion may work to our advantage. If we are careful to avoid the skirmishing, it may yet be possible to reach the Griffin, and if we can do that... Lady Hilda, might I ask that you have an airship ready to bear the Scions to safety? I don't know who this Lady Hilda is, Marshal, but you can count on me. We must prepare for Imperial reprisals. May the Navigator guide us through the storm. Forward, comrades. The time has come to drive the Empire from Alamigo and force action upon those who have turned their backs to our suffering for so long. Let this victory be the first step in the liberation of our homeland. Alamigo will be free, no matter the cost. From what Papalimo told me, the trail ahead should lead us into the shadow of the wall. As we have two objectives, I suggest we divide our forces. I shall make straightaways for the tunnels and attempt to intercept our comrades ere they stumble into a bloodbath. While I do so, I must ask that you scale the wall. Know that I would not propose such a course if there were any other way, but the time for subtlety is past. Take a band of your most trusted companions and cut a path through to the Griffin. Make him see reason by any means necessary. Once we are free of the tunnels, we will make for your position with all due haste. And if everything proceeds according to plan, Hilda will then swoop in and spirit us away to safety. I only pray that we have enough time. I find one flaw in Alphinode's plan. We've got the Griffin, who has disguised his army as a army of the Alliance to make the Empire think that the Alliance has attacked them. And now he's sending the Warrior of Light in there to join that army as far as the Empire is concerned.
Yeah.
That's only if any of the Empire survive.
KJ, they have the largest army in the world.
Not right there.
Well, that is true. But scouts or witnesses will get out. So. But anyway, this is a dungeon, and I do not believe we have enough time for a dungeon tonight.
No. Mm-mm.
Actually, this is probably about normal stopping time anyway. And just to update y'all on where we are, we complete this dungeon, and then there are 5 quests left in Heavensward.
Cool.
We completed 3.4, and we're almost done with 3.5 tonight. So, next stream, we will be in Stormblood.
Cool.
Everybody want to stay here or go? I'm going to Oldar right now.
When did you take off your hat, Zora?
When we dressed as downtrodden adventurers, I figured my witch hat would give me away.
Gotcha.
What? What's laughing? What?
Oh, just Zora's into it. There is a blue-colored rooster person in the inn in Gridania.
I'm on my way. I have to see this. Although I have been hearing a lot of memes revolving a guy who has glamored himself up to look like Colonel Sanders running around with a guy in a chicken suit.
Oh, that's funny.
That'd be awesome. I'd have to be Colonel Sanders, though. I got the goatee. Oh, no, my goatee's not small enough.
Yep, that chicken suit, just not in blue.
It's funny we all have our backs to him.
But just one moment, and I will wind down the stream.
Okay.
Alright, guys, I believe that is where we will stop for tonight. And we will not be streaming tomorrow, but I will be back on Friday with Final Fantasy VI. Until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoy it. I'll see y'all next time.